You staying on the phone too late is not gonna make it happen. This is my first girl talk video, I believe, that I've uploaded. I've uploaded videos about what women go through sometimes, like miscarriage and pregnancy. I have some videos on those topics. I'm gonna link a couple of like the women in pregnancy and miscarriage videos down below if you're interested. I do wanna expand. People keep asking me, how do you do it? I'm at home, it's the middle of the day, I have small kids, I'm married, etc, etc. I'm not saying that I'm great. I'm not saying anything about me. I'm just saying this video I feel like is needed because people keep asking me about how I'm doing what I'm doing now. And I'm like, well, this took work. When I was a young woman, I struggled with what I should be doing with my time. I've been coming across a lot of different women at a lot of different stages in their life. Young women, younger than me, who don't really know what to be doing with their time. This video is about how valuable your time really is. Let's talk about relationships. I came across two women talking. It was the workplace. That's why I was there, but I wasn't in the conversation until later. One of them, this woman was probably 26. She had a short haircut. Like she had to keep that haircut up or it would start looking the way that didn't make her feel proud. So she would do her hair and makeup every day. I worked there for over a year in this particular office at this company. She only came to work without makeup one time. And then she even told us, like, I just need a day. Today is that day, you guys. I made it here and that's how the day is gonna be. We were sitting at our desks on our computers getting our work done. It was about 4 in the afternoon. She was struggling. She was yawning like crazy. Her eyes were like super puffy. This is the type of woman who rarely even talked about coffee, but this particular afternoon she was struggling and she's like, I need a coffee. She was yawning. They were talking about how she met a guy that she was into and she was saying how they were on the phone till very late. And it was probably almost midnight before they got off the phone. They were talking about how it made her feel, less about the guy, more about how she's doing. She was explaining to her best friend, you know, this isn't normal, like, but he's so cute. And in that moment, I knew, like, okay, I have a different point of view. And even she was lighthearted about the situation in general and open. I think they asked me a question. They were the type of girls that you don't want to really interrupt, like they have a good relationship, they're best friends or something, and you just like, you know, you only talk to them about work or if they invite you into the conversation. Because I sat adjacent from them, but far enough where you had to like raise your voice a significant amount to get my attention, but it was fine. Somehow I entered the chat. Camisha, what do you do about this? Maybe I can help them out. I started saying at this time of night, I'm not talking to anyone on the phone. At 10 o'clock at night, I'm leaving shopping. I've been buying hair gloss. I need some pads. 9 o'clock at night. Why was she on the phone? That's like my time. I told her, I was like, I don't talk to anyone on the phone that late at night. Like, forget midnight. And I left it there. I didn't tell her, this is what you should do. It wasn't that relaxed, but they did ask my opinion. So after I said, you know, I'm not even talking to a boy, I just did my work. I went back to my computer and that was that. There's more women like these two. Someone is in this stage of life all the time. This video I feel like is needed because people keep asking me about how I'm doing what I'm doing now. I have small kids, I'm married, and I'm like, well, this took work. With your time, like, it's easy just to start at your basic physiological needs. She had a regular 9-to-5 job. That's how it was. So she needs to go to sleep so she can get back and, you know, be comfortable, fed, jacket, not cold, ample amounts of sleep so she can clock in at 8:30. The Proverbs 31 woman's time is completely all accounted for. Basically, there's probably a little bit of room for just her own decisions, but her time is largely spent on her family, her work. But this Proverbs 31 woman is already married, she already has children, and she has acquired a field, something to work at and keep her hands busy. She's already there. So before you get there, you gotta prepare for it. Make sure, you know, that your physiological needs are taken care of. I think because of the times, it's become easier to actualize physiological needs. When you need physiological help, like, you can go to a shelter and get help. You know what I mean? You need food, there's food pantries and things like that. I was thinking, you know, if my daughter was in this situation, what would I say to her? You are valuable, you always will be. You were, you are, you will be. For her the next day to be struggling, like, mentally, you're not even able to do the things that you want to do that bring you joy. I thought it was just a boy. This guy that she spent time on kind of just got in her way. She spent the wrong time of the day and the wrong amount of time of the day on the boy. It messed up the next day for her. It messed up who she was personally. Today, over a decade later, probably this woman doesn't even know that guy anymore. She probably has a new phone, maybe even a new phone number, and she can't even remember his name. Like, if someone said his name, Pete, she wouldn't even think of that guy. Also, why? Is that your husband? And no, you don't have to do that in order for him to become your husband. What would be the benefit to talking to a guy that late at night? Now, if he did speak to you with morals, I am so happy for you. If he lost them, which is what most guys do that late at night, especially in their 20s, if he was talking to you like you're not the queen you are, now you know why I'm making this video. I don't want that to happen to my daughter. We would really need to consider, like, what would be a better course of action for her, for herself? What would be a nice course of action for him? Let's think about it. Wouldn't it be nicer if instead of calling her at 10:30 at night at all, wouldn't it be nicer if every morning at 10:30 in the morning he said, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a good day. Even if he never even called her at night, was busy, a little unusual, but he's still courting her. He's still respectful, has manners, is polite, is thoughtful. Those things still stand after 3 months, don't they? Whenever I did have relationships with boys or whatever, they were always like in person. If we weren't at school or we weren't at the workplace, I wasn't really talking to you unless it was already very serious, and you had to show me that when I saw you in person. It's hard to hear a boy is a boy, like, that's not your husband, you know what I mean? It's hard to hear that. And if you're watching this video, like, you're probably thinking, okay, but what if it is? Well, if it is. You still don't have to go to work tired the next day. You staying on the phone too late is not gonna make it happen. That's what I would tell my daughter. I just want more young women to be more accountable with their time. It took me time to prepare for this video. This is a topic I've been thinking about a lot lately. It took time for me to find what this woman was doing that was recorded in Proverbs 31 in the Bible. It took time for me to find Maslow's hierarchy of needs, to put that into this video. It took time for me to make this video. No, I have not always done a great job of balancing my own time. I've been posting about it on Instagram, saying I'm in the middle. Midlife. I've got a family, children, there's elderly people in my family, there's babies in my family, and I'm taking care of, you know, having relationships, close relationships with all of them, and then there's still me. My time is so valuable. I really don't have time for, what's the word out there, tomfoolery. I don't have time for it. I really don't. And I think also as a young woman, before I got married, I didn't have time for it either. Let me know if you got anything out of this video. If you want to add anything, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you have any questions? Do you have... Oh, these smell so pretty. Yeah. Okay.